Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. We're going to quickly go over what had happened today, and then we're going to talk about the setups into tomorrow. If we first, looks like my thinkorswim is locked up in here. Give me a sec here. All right, we're in here. Let's load up the market view on the weekly, and we'll take a look there first. And if you like this, let me know in the comments. Would be interesting. So obviously XBI, the 122 actionable rev strat went 2-2 this morning below 133. So down she goes. We will see if they confirm and negate that tomorrow. They're much closer to going 2 down once again. Healthcare is also 222 to the downside. Some relative weakness there as we had identified over the weekend vid. Energy is still good with the simultaneous break, which I'm not sure if I mentioned it over the weekend, but looking for that to keep going. This is something we were looking at, and I did not get the weekend video out the previous week, but in the stat Discord, and I can just show you guys that here. So not often do we throw out alerts and stuff, but you can see intraday, XLP, XOP, OIH, crude oil, simultaneous 2-2 week. Until that reverses, it is a swing, and they have not reversed yet. So we're still looking at that stuff. A lot of inside bars to start the week. So you'll see like the big seven, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA going inside. Amazon still going. If we go to Adobe, also on there, inside week. And if we go to Goog, 2 up and red to start the week, actually with a gap up rev strat day. So seeing, a whole lot of nothing to start, but inside weeks on that stuff. Also indexes, Qs, SPY, Dow Jones, all a 1, semis a 1, right? Tech a 1. IBM a 1. So doing nothing. We don't have to do anything unless that changes. That being said, to start the week, we can go and take a look. app.stratalerts.com. And we can first just scan 2 up on the day. And we can take a count how many things went up on Monday. So about 367 things to the upside, 2 to the downside, 117. So still most things going up at that point on the week. We're going to have 65 twos down, which you're going to see a lot of consumer stuff, healthcare stuff, which we talked about. And then twos to the upside, we have 167. So still a bull market at this point, unless you're going to reverse all those twos up that occurred on Monday, which, they could, but we're going to still be an inside week at that point. That being said, who is in force on the week with bearish full time frame continuity, given the market open kind of weak? Healthcare, consumer defensive. So we can go and take a look there quick. And this is just to show you what is moving. So if we go to CELH, you're going to see it on the week. It does go shooter week in force to start the week. Not moving too much to start, but if we go 60, we'll actually go day, week. There we go. So some momentum shooter into Tuesday. We'll see what comes of that. If we go to KHC, also consumer defensive, 3-2 down to start the week. You can see double inside week down, still an inside month, so not interested in that. And then Hurl, consumer defensive, 2 down again on the day, 1-2 week, but mother bar, still not interested in that myself. That being said, healthcares with the biotechs and stuff coming in, AZN. You will see gap down takes inside week momentum measure to move on the week of the previous downtrend. So it could drop, another, looks like it didn't drop that much, but another $6 with the 2-2 month in force. Other thing we can notice, AZN. A lot of people will say this is an order block, right? So we're taking out the previous lows. What it actually is you're just trapping these guys long, right? So that's why this range might act as resistance in the futures, because all those guys trapped long, maybe they didn't have enough time to get out, right? So we can say 2-2 on the month coming back through previous range. We'd like to see a reclaim of this on the AZN below 76, just about 76 psych, 76.50. If we're going to come back through that, we'll see. On the quarter, it will have a shooter into next quarter, so they're setting that up. J&J, you're going to see opening inside week down, still bright green quarter, 2 up on the month, so it's conflicted. If we go to Myrna, you can see Puke, and they sold all day, inside week down, 312, working on 62.55, which doesn't have much range on it. If we go to Regen, REGN, you can see 2 go 3 with the inside 60 on the third 60 of the day, Puke, and that caused the inside week down, bright red on the month at this point. So we'll see if that continues puking. 3-2 expansion tomorrow would be momentum. ELV healthcares. You see gap up, rev strat, boom. What does that do? 2-260 to cause a rev strat, and then down they go. Causes 2-2 week. 2 up in red month from the top of the broadening formation. So ELV, you got the major try in here. If you watch the video on stat, I suggest you do. You're going to notice the sub try in here as well. So on a weekly chart, you'll have the sub try occurring at the top of the major try. So we have reason to believe we're going down there around just under 500. And then if that happens, we're all the way down here, we might go down there as well, 415. So we'll see if that goes 3-2 as well. That being said, we can do current candle a 3 and see if that's going to show up on the daily in the healthcares. I'm not sure if we fixed that yet on the scan site. Looks like we have not, but we could say REGN and ELV both got those 3s. Bearish enforce, weak, healthcare. All right, so we got ELV. If we go to MRK, you're going to notice 3 on the day as well, showing aggression. They tried to buy it up and they got rejected. 3, 2 down in green, and then there's 30s in there. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, down they go. 2 up red month, 2, 2 shooter week. With the 3, 2 continuation set up tomorrow. So a lot of 3s healthcares. They're going to be broadening formation, so we'll see if we stay out of those. VRTX starts 2 down day, 2, 2 reversal week, going 2 down, 3, 2 month below that. So your line in the sand is here. Causes expansion 458.04. So they have not done that yet. No signals to confirm that into tomorrow. If you go to WBA, the last one, you're going to see this one's kind of just going to 0, 2, 2 week, and bright red still just puking at the big monthly try. So mostly healthcare's in force on the downside, bearish. And then XPI and XLV. So it's all simultaneous break. Downside healthcares. That is where the shorts are this week. There's always bear market. You just got to find it. That being said, on the upside week in force, we're going to have lacking signals, but SO, which we did talk about, did cause the RevStrat week up, and you'll notice how that happens, how signals cause other signals. You'll notice the RevStrat week caused by the momentum hammer 60, so we can use continuation to trigger reversal 2-2 week, and then there's also reversal 60 to confirm 2-2 week. So, and then we also have that momentum hammer day. So you see 60 causes day, causes week, and then 60 confirms day, confirms week, which is just amazing examples of what we're looking to do with the strat by causing signals across multiple time frames to increase the probabilities of our trades working, because when you have at least 2 or 3 signals, you really don't have reason to believe it should fail. If we go to FTNT in the tech, it's just inside week, causes 3-2 month. I'm not sure if there's like really good news in here or if it's a buyout, but 3-2 month above that, so maybe something comes of that. Notice this RevStrat 60 tomorrow. Pivot machine gun to try and take all these guys out if they confirm on Tuesday. Lockheed Martin in the industrial sector. You can see the inside week momentum hammer, bright green, still a 3-2 month expansion, and they're blasting off into all-time highs. And this is one, I don't know if you remember, but the 3-2-2 Lockheed Martin, when we mentioned it down in here, notice how when you create winning positions, you get to hold them. Poke down, poke up, inside up, still good with the 3-2-2 with an inside add. So just amazing stuff. And I imagine most of you guys remember when we went over that if you've been following a while. SMCI also went inside up momentum. So, prefer to see this RevStrat tomorrow. And it would be sideways 2-day inside bar pattern, I believe. But we can just say this. Notice all these bars stuck inside, poke up. If it goes 2-2 on a Tuesday below that, 449.44, that would be an issue in SMCI. Love. 2-2 week love after corrective activity confirms 3-2 hammer month. It is going to be continuation tomorrow. And I don't know if we talked about Domino's Pizza, but it is 3-1-2 reversal week to cause RevStrat month to start the week. So that is your stuff on the upside and downside. And then with your patterns into tomorrow, we want to look for signals to trigger signals or signals to cause outside weeks. So the first thing we can look at is the 3-1s on the day. So I'll have 18 of those, and for simplicity, I'm going to sort by ATR. So since the healthcares are all breaking down, CI, 3-1 day would confirm what the healthcares are doing with full time frame continuity below this. You get the PMG of these guys to cause a RevStrat week, which gives you the magnitude to take all those guys out down into 350.43. So since you already have the healthcares going down, this would have more evidence if that breaks because they're already going down. You'll also notice the major and sub tries in here. You got the major try in the month with the sub try in the month at the top of that major try like so. So they're trying to reclaim this outside month after reclaiming the all-time highs. The reclaim of the outside month is here. And we can mark that out as a level of reclaim. And you're going to see 355.56. So notice we reclaim it, then the signal to cause the actionable signal with full time for continuity, something we look for. You will see Autodesk in the technologies 3-1. And this will either RevStrat the week or stay, or you could go 2 up week, but you're closer or we'd prefer to rev strat that week so we have more signals. Still an inside month, so the rev strat's preferred because we're still stuck on the month. If we go to ROP in the technologies, it's the last one here. Also 3-1 in the technologies, along with Autodesk and what, 571.19. So yeah, they're nowhere near triggering the month. Gonna ignore that one. But Autodesk, CI, ROP, preferably CI is gonna be probably your highest probability one. And since there's so few of them, I will not sort by ATR, see if we get any other ones. BWA, long green and red bars. This is something we're looking for. You'll notice it is a rev stratting the month here, the magnitude to 35.91. So if you're a small account guy, above 34.41, you would get the reversal on the day above that. And then we would get short-term exhaustion on the week up in there, but you could cause weekly broadening formation expansion like this. So if you go to the day, you'll see the weekly. These 3 bars outside of that causes daily broadening formation. If that expands, guess where we're going? You got this bigger try. You also got these highs up in here to go outside month and rev strat that stuff. So BBWA for the small account guys, consumer cyclical. CCL, consumer cyclical, bright green month. And you have a lot of evidence as we come into the end of the month that they're going to take out 1948. So you can use the daily 3-1 guys, anyone short today, to try and confirm full time frame continuity up above that. Also good for the small account guys above this. Daily trigger at 1902, magnitudes up into 1948, 1974. So you'd want the at the money or the 19.5 call. If we go to Intel's been having some news lately, so you get the 3-1. It is negating the month red to green. You have exhaustion risk on the week, but it could, keep going. We'll see they have that buyout news NVIDIA, so just be aware that there is some news that is driving this. But the 3-1 could either turn into continuation, momentum, and they start reclaiming into this gap, or it turns into rev strat or inside down back through this broadening formation, maybe if that deal doesn't go through. If we go to Kellogg's consumer defensive, or no, Kellanova. Yeah, it looks like buyout. Maybe I'm wrong in here. Yeah, so nothing there for us. So, yep, you got a few extra ones there, specifically cyclicals. And cyclicals is going to be your XLY discretionary. And discretionary did go up today, so that's going to mostly be your Amazon, if we go there. And maybe your Tesla, which you can see goes inside day up, confirming the 2-2 month in force to start. So Amazon and Tesla will be on the strat attack tomorrow, more than likely. And those discretionaries would confirm that stuff. If we go then to the 3-2-2s, we can look for a 2 down in green. The only one is the consumer defensive, MDLZ. And you'll notice how we add our signals across multiple time frames. So you have the reclaim. Here, you will have the rev strat magnitude to go an outside bar and take out that mother bar up in there, 75.40 or 75.98. You'll have the 3-2-2 daily trigger above this in here, 75.03, and you'd have some extra pivots to go after up in there as well. And I like to normally put these as dotted lines, simply because it's less cluttering on the chart then, at least in my opinion. That's the only one 2 down in green as far as hammers are concerned. There is no 3-2-2 hammers I can find on this scan. Does not mean there is none. It just means what we scan does not have any. If you go 2 up in red, there's some nobodies in there. EQIX would be conflicted. WDC. It would be slightly conflicted as well, but 322's WDC, Western Digi, this is one Rob loved to trade. So you can see from exhaustion risk, it could change what we know to be true back through the previous range in here. So we'll see. As far as shooters go there's no shooters 322. So lacking those today. Then we can look for the rev strat hammers and shooters. Bullish rev strats. You got HLT. I believe this is Hilton. Yeah, Hilton Worldwide. So there is Marriott. And you'll see Marriott not having the best day, but still has a month in force, so that could be corrective. But HLT will have the rev strat 122 day to do what? To confirm a higher time frame monthly signal in force with a magnitude up into here. you would have 229.03 above this as your daily signal to break and confirm that stuff. 225.33, so 229.03, yeah, still some decent magnitude on that. If we go to 2 down and green, we have no 2 down and green rev strats to start the week on the day, so not much there. If we go 2 up and red, looks like mostly financial services setting up with industrials. So not my favorite sectors in here, but AME, so you can see this is occurring where? It's at the top of the daily broadening formation. It would be back through a previous range, pivot machine gun through these guys if that goes in force below this. And that's industrials. If we go J in the industrials, J is setting up also rev strat inside week, inside month though. So, little chop shop in there. If we go to mass industrials, also kind of a chop shop stuck inside week at this point, but there is, daily setups in there. P-car industrials, also potential rev strat, a little better with the 2 up in red week to go 3, but same thing conflicted with the month. Not my favorite there. Outside of that, in the financials, inside weeks here as well. PRU, 2 up in red week, inside month. So this one, solid PMG potential in here. You can see right off the top of your daily broadening formation, back through previous range below this, PRU. And it would negate the month to red, giving you a full time frame continuity. So potentially you can start gunning after all these guys, take out 3 days worth of participation groups really quick up in here. And we'd go like this, boom, boom. Below 120.52 would be the first break in there. If we go to RJF, also, you'll see coming from monthly 322 magnitude, so exhaustion risk. And if we zoom out on the day, you can see a really big daily try in here, poke down, poke up. Now, that rev strat could come and take these guys all out, but you're going to be conflicted. If we go to STT, also conflicted, all-time highs, maybe a rev strat. So a few financial services, if you go to XLF, they go inside, or no, shooter counter hammer day, but inside week, doji month at this point, so they're kind of chopping them up this month. In the basic materials, tech would be a 122 after last month's highs, short-term exhaustion risk, WPM, 122, so that's more of the gold stuff. Gold does start the week 2 up in red, silver starts 2 down, but that's conflicted, so I'm not going to short that stuff. So really, you could try and go after some of those bearish signals in the financial services, but it's going to be some conflict. I would say PRU, probably one of the better bets in there, and potentially RJF from exhaustion risk, but exhaustion risk is just not the highest probability stuff. That being said, on the shooter list, it looks like you have more financial services, which includes PayPal. So PayPal has been kind of on a crazy rally recently. Still really green month, nowhere near an outside week reversal or anything. So it's going to be probably just profit taking. But 2-2 on a Tuesday below that on PayPal, 77.34 just about. And that's the only one that adds to the list. And then outside of that, the inside days, I'm more curious with these inside bars to trigger weekly signals ideally. And one thing I want to show you is how Thinkorswim can allow you to do this right now. Currently, a scan site does not, but this is not something we talk about too much on the nightly vids, but I think it's cool that we can show it here. So if you go to the week, we can scan and say like last week was let's just say it was inside. So inside week last week, then we can go and scan. Since we know inside weeks are actionable signals and we want to expect movement either with the break of the inside bar or the reclaim causing a rev strat, we can scan for, let's say, hammer days 2 down to cause rev strat weeks. We can look for shooter days 2 up to cause outside bar rev strat weeks. So this is one scan. If you're just going to trade rev strats, you can start building things. So if you go shooter and 2 up, I don't know if we're going to have any, but shooter and 2 up, these will give you anything trying to go outside weeks. So NU and hood. So if we go to NU, for example, you can see 2 up day shooter, and it is inside week, but notice this would cause a rev strat. And I think this actually means a scan last week on the last week's range did not work. Oh, I scanned inside this week. That's my bad. Oh, thinkorswim. Lagging out there. But hood, that's actually, or NU, that's actually a pretty solid setup. And I actually want to take a look at the other one. So NU, you can see weekly rev strat would be caused by a shooter day below this 14.6. So, or yeah, 14.6. So this would be good for the small account guys as well with some of those consumer discretionary or consumer cyclical names. I mean, we'll see if hood's got anything as well. Shooter day, 222, counter hammer, still an inside week. So no, not so much. But back to what we were talking about. Inside last week, and then scan for a shooter day. So like KGC, it's going to be minors, which I personally don't want to go in short. Looks like, yeah, this one's not going to do it for us. So we go inside last week and 2 up. And then we could look at for a day. We can just say it's 2 up. And close below the previous day's highs. So it reclaims a range, and it took last week's highs. So it's really only KGC here. We'll see if there's anything on the week to the downside that might try and rev strat back up. This is better done when you have a lot of inside week setups on the scans. Over the weekend, we didn't have that many, but I just want to try and see if we can find something in here to show an example of how we can scan for exactly what we want. Yeah, so it looks like we don't got any here. Let's see if we remove the weeklies. We go AMX. So you can see, for example, inside week broke down, and then whenever a 2 breaks and fails to attempt to go 3 back into a 1, that's something we want to know about, right? Because it's a rev strat. And then in order to play the rev strat, the 2-2 day sets up on a Tuesday, where the day week and 60 groups would all be buying, and we'd have no evidence of any monthly group that was previously selling. So this is an example of how we can use the strat to quantify our setups. So a lot of you guys that trade like futures or trade ICT or any of these other strategies alongside the strat, what that looks like, that weekly and daily setup, it's going to look something like this. Now, maybe you have something you're looking for specifically on these lower time frames, like a fair value gap or something. But what you can do is you can just scan through and be like, yep, looking for rev strats, which is consolidation. Then you fail and go back through it. Everyone's looking for this setup. And then once you find it, you can go and drop down and see, well, does this fit what I'm looking for? So there's not many this week, but an example of that. And since we have a lot of inside weeks to start, what we can do here instead is we can go inside day, because a lot of things will be inside day since we started inside week. And then we can look for things that are actionable as of last week. So we can look for an inside, or we can look for a 2 up, or let's just say we'll look for a shooter last week and 2 up. So for a 2-2 reversal. Or we can look for a hammer last week and 2 down last week to look for a 2-2 reversal the other way. And then we can look for the daily inside bar to break those signals. And this is probably going to have a lot more on the list here. So you can see we have a lot of nobodies in here, which is why I normally intersect this. If we go to public, you can go to weeklies because we like weekly options. They're normally more liquid stocks as well. You can see Into and Lucid are the only ones that fit those conditions. Into. So you can see inside day, which could cause inside week. If you go to Lucid, you'll notice we could cause inside week. Where is it going? Broadening formation. It's kind of a, small crapper is what we call them in the Discord. The inside day could cause that inside week to the downside and get things puking. 2-1-2 reversal of these guys in here in Lucid. So just some examples of how you can do that. And this is something we're trying to build out into the site and actually get automated with other things. We have some people we're working with. So a lot of cool stuff coming, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the nightly vid. Obviously, pick your favorites. I tried to point out the ones we'll be looking at tomorrow morning in the Discord. But that being said, have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you guys bright and early if you're in stats, and if you're not, I'll see you guys in tomorrow night's nightly vid.